Welcome everybody to Pealed Back's LiveCast Conversation with Mark Tompkins. Mark, thank you so much for being on episode 26. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
So if you guys don't know who Mark is a serial entrepreneur, community leader, and a networking expert. Mark takes being a serial entrepreneur to heart as he's always looking for ways to connect challenges with the right people and the right technology through his organizations. I use that plurally. And he's also part of his network. He's been part of organizations Catalyst Health, High Roller Games, also the organization of the City of Kelowna, various committees. Our primary business is Buzz, which can be found at thisis.buzz, which is a business marketing agency. He leverages his skills in connecting the dots, and most importantly, people. Buzz focuses on business marketing, real estate, and online advertising. Mark, my words can only do so much. So let's take it away. Let's hear about where you're at, and we're going to peel it back from there.
Yeah, for sure. So, owner of Buzz Marketing. We've been in business for about 8 years now, and things are going pretty awesome. I think with COVID hitting, everything online became more important, and basically all of our services became more important to all of our current clients and our new clients as well. So, we definitely have the right business for the market right now. So it's pretty exciting, and it just you can just feel that people are understanding that their online presence is one of the most important things for your business.
It's been kind of that wake up call that COVID's been, hasn't it? Especially I come from an agency history, so I can only imagine people going, "Oh my God, I have to put real effort into this now."
Yeah, and some people that either didn't think they ever needed a website, which is crazy to me. Some of those people are going, "Wow, do I ever need a website?" The walk, depending on the business, the walkthrough traffic isn't as robust as it used to be, and the every year that goes by, and the younger generation that comes up, they rely solely on online websites and marketing to make decisions on who to do business with. So as time goes on, it just becomes more and more important.
So how are you? You talked about having your clients come in and existing being more involved. Aside from the website, how are you positioning them or helping them educate? I guess is a better question around what should they actually be doing around getting out there and putting their name out there to get attention, because there's a lot of people begging for that.
Yeah, like we through my experience of through networking, it kind of I would go to basically every single networking event, and that's how we grew the business, was just being visible. I was not a good salesperson, to be honest with you. So my only solution to that was just go to every single event, meet as many people as I can, and eventually it started, as people started to know who I was and wore my Buzz jacket so that everybody knew who we were. Over time, people just automatically started to think of Buzz when they needed online services. And I think through that, and over the last year when COVID hit, networking events died essentially. So luckily we were very well established by that point in time, but it made me realize that I need to do something else to keep the visibility going. So I switched my strategy from networking events to shooting quick little videos for Buzz with all of my clients, and just help promote them, and they give me some wicked content that people are interested in. So that especially on LinkedIn, that strategy has just been amazing. And instead of talking to 20 people at a networking event, I can hit thousands of people at the same time and be, I think even 10 times more visible than I ever was before.
Yeah.
And I was pretty visible. Like I think I was probably going to more networking events than anybody in town because it was the only thing I knew how to do.
Well, I can confirm that, being from the same city, is that anytime you were out, if there was an event and Mark wasn't there, it'd almost be like, should someone call him? Like, is he right now?
I'm missing.
Well, when you start off by saying that you weren't a good salesman, like that is exactly what a great salesman does, though, right? Like, is figure it out where to go and where to get to the people that are, that you can serve the best. And you did that in spades. Like, you literally were a fixture. And now seeing what you're doing online and hearing more about it is, I would challenge that statement and say, you're one hell of a salesman.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's it feels pretty good. I don't think I've ever cold called because I would just be very bad at it. So I had to think of some other ways to go. And I always, if I ever meet somebody that's a good cold caller, I'd appreciate that like 1,000% because it's like I can't even imagine doing it. I would feel terrible about it. I would be bad at it, and I wouldn't want to do it. So I appreciate people that can do it.
Oh yeah, but being on the flip side, there's tons of people that wish they had your superpower, being able to show up to events and work the room and go say hi to everybody, remember their name, and be front and center all the time. Like that's a lot of work that you put into
COVID. Yeah, it was, I enjoyed it obviously, but there's times where I'm like, oh man, another event. but it was just, I just made it a habit to go to as many as I possibly could. And it just became a part of who I was and what I did. And I think it definitely helped us grow because, marketing companies there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of competition and to stand out in that space is not easy.
Okay. Gosh, no. And being front and center like that, like as somebody who's so good at being out there and networking the way that you did, like what would you recommend to somebody who would just be newer to town or new to like trying to connect with people and questioning, going, is showing up to these events actually going to impact your business? Like by the sounds of it, it was the thing that drove as the success you're having.
Yeah, it definitely did. I think, just being out there and doing it is advice. I would just say join some referral networking groups. Like I'm a part of BNI, really successful local group that, we passed, there's 26 members last year. We passed almost $2 million in business. So like that was another really good thing that I did. And I wish I would have joined BNI at the start because it is, such a great referral group. And, it doesn't have to necessarily be BNI, but just some other groups. And those ones are done through Zoom right now. So it's not the most ideal situation, but you end up meeting a lot of people that you can do business with. I think, just from what I've done through video online, it's a little easier for me because I've got a lot of clients, so I've got endless content. I meet with people on a daily basis. But I think just start, the smartest thing I ever did was, I did some research on, how to become visible. And it's just like, don't worry too much about the content you're putting out, because if you aren't putting out any content, nobody's seeing you anyway. So the best thing I ever did was I don't even watch half my videos anymore. I shoot them and I post them. Because before I would always I would shoot a video. I'm like, oh, well, what's this person going to think? And like, is this good? Like, I don't even know if it's good. So I ended up not posting it. And I have like endless amounts of videos from the past that I never posted. And now I've switched my mindset to just post everything that I shoot. So now even if it's not great, even if it's not perfect, like I say all the time in my videos, but I think it works because I'm doing it. That's the hardest part is just doing it, which people have trouble doing. So that's like the hardest part is just do it. Don't care. In my opinion, I don't care too much about the content because people find different things interesting. It's some of the videos that I thought were terrible were some of my best videos, and some of the ones that I'm like, wow, this one's so awesome. I'm like, okay, nobody liked that one. Like, oh. So it's like you gotta get it out there and find out what works.
Right, and it's what I hear from that is the mind shift happens, but there's also a bit of like, who are you to validate if what you're putting out there is good or not, right? It's up to the market and it's up to somebody else to be able to view it, who's going to take something from it, because we all have something. My belief is we all have something to share. And the fact that you're out there, just like we are right now, is somebody may watch this and go, wow, that one tip from Mark about just getting started may change their whole life because they never thought about it. They're sitting on perfectionism, or what if somebody gets upset by it? So what I hear about that is like, just get started and just do it, and let somebody else who's going to view it determine its value.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what I got out of it too. Is somebody had said that exact thing. Is like, you're not the judge of you. Everybody else is. So let them judge you. So yeah, and I think LinkedIn has been just an amazing platform, especially business to business. That getting a ton of leads out of that, and I think I do a lot of training for my clients. A lot of the time, I'll just do it for free to train their staff on how to do social media. And the biggest thing I found that people always forget is making the connections first. Like, it doesn't matter if you're making content and you have very few connections, you're wasting your time. So it's really easy to grow your connections on on almost every social media platform. So that's usually what I teach first. And what a lot of people just miss is they go straight to the content and don't grow their audience. Right. So I teach people how to like increase their audience. I mean, it's pretty simple. LinkedIn tells you exactly who you should be and Facebook as well. They tell you who you should be friends with and connected with. So it doesn't take any brain power. It just takes you're just clicking your mouse on a daily basis. But before I get anybody to start posting content, I get them to grow their connections for the first month or two, even before they start posting stuff.
So as somebody's going to watch this and maybe it's just starting that journey, so you talk about just going through and doing the LinkedIn recommendations. Do you recommend engaging with those new contacts, and how do you teaching people who are new to it to do that?
Yeah, if you're trying to sell anything, I've got a few different strategies. So one of the strategies is what I do is let's say the auto industry, which is I work with various auto dealers. So when I first started using LinkedIn a lot more than I was before, I would add every GM, sales manager in the auto industry in Canada, because I wanted that to be a part of who my audience was, because I do quite a bit of auto content with my clients. And so just getting those people in front of me as connections would be the first step. And then what works really well is starting to like any of their stuff that they put out, make comments on it. Because what happens is you're becoming visible to them by just liking their stuff and commenting on it. So over time they'll start to see you. And if I want to work with a specific auto dealer, and I was doing this over the past couple of weeks, a strategy of a guy I really wanted to work with. So I started liking his stuff. I started commenting. And then when you actually go to connect with those people and actually send them a message, you're not cold calling them anymore, because you've been interacting with all their stuff, and you're familiar now. Even if the people notice when you like their stuff or comment, and so now it's a way warmer lead when I go up because they know kind of who I am already.
Right. So you go give the value to them first before you ask for it in return.
100%. And people miss that boat all the time on LinkedIn. I get messages nonstop. It's like, I don't know who you are, and you just, here, buy my stuff. It's like, no, I said, you're doing it wrong.
Well, yeah, and then they bring it back to sales. Like that never works. Like very regular, I would say infrequently, would somebody just walk up and go, "Hey, Mark, I need a website and a whole marketing campaign," and never have interacted with you before, right? The chances are that they've seen you, and especially with all, I've seen a lot of your work on LinkedIn, so they've probably engaged with it. You've engaged with them, and it's like all these little taps and notches have added up to them going, "I need that support." Oh, I know.
Yeah, 100%. And then the third piece of that is just putting content out so that they see who you're working with, what you're doing. So those all auto dealers, I create videos quite frequently with my auto guys, but I'm not really even doing much. All I'm doing is asking them, "Hey, what do you got going on this weekend? Like, what kind of sales are you doing? What kind of clients do you like to work with?" So it's not, I'm not even talking about myself in 90% of my videos and what we do. Is just being visible in that industry with some of the top clients that I have. And so you're creating that credibility, and you're hoping that the people you want to do business with see you, working with those clients.
Right. Well, you're creating incredible value for your clients. And so what I would expect gets seen is like somebody going, "Oh, he keeps creating value for them." And maybe when he reaches out to me, I'm way more aware of, "Oh, I already know the type of value he creates."
Yeah, for sure. And it's, the video stuff with clients is just, it's awesome. You have new content every time. You're talking to different people. You're promoting them. They're secretly promoting you because I'm getting the content so that I'm visible. So associating myself with, Kelowna Hyundai and Summerhill Winery and, some of the well-known companies, it really raises your visibility plus also credibility, which is two things that are not always easy in marketing.
Right. One thing that comes up is a curious question around, what's your opinion on, around using the video to provide value or conversation versus, I see a lot of posts like blatantly ads disguised as posts. What's your take on it? What do you think works best? Or is it a little bit of right place, right time?
Yeah, I mean, we've got promotional videos that I've posted on LinkedIn, and they get nowhere near the reactions for, like, compared to my just organic videos with my clients. Yeah. It's good to have that out there every once in a while to make sure that people do know what you do. But I think just through being visible, people understand what you do because you're talking about your clients, and I think LinkedIn has been one of the best things that have happened, in my strategy that's working really well. Like, tons of incoming people contacting me through LinkedIn, or just, like, I'm continually reminding them of what I do. So it's like going to the networking events. If they, like you said, at the right time, they're like, "Oh, hey, you know what? I really need a website." Guess who they're seeing online? It's me, and way better chance of them actually reaching out to me because I'm just visible.
Right. Yeah, it just provides you makes you more human.
Well, that too, and there's like a saying where people like to do business with people that they like, so they can't like you if they don't see you. I've even, it's funny because some of my clients, like, I I would say probably 95% of the people I meet now have seen me online. So I know the impact has been great, but I know some of my like potential clients, I know they haven't even watched one of my videos, but they still see me. So it's still working effectively, even though they're not even pulling the content in, they're just seeing me in the feed. So it's not even just the content that people are watching, it's still working, even though they're not even, taking in that content.
Right. Yeah. Well, there's only so many people who are going to engage. There's a ton of lurkers. And
what's that? Sorry, you cut out there.
I said there's a ton of lurkers on LinkedIn. Well, I think on all social platforms, right? So it is still a matter of how do you find the right lurker?
Yeah. I have a premium account, so I can tell everybody that I see. So that's also a good strategy too, is I can see who's looking. So if I see an auto dealer guy that I haven't met before, looking at my profile, I know that I'm making an impact because they know I'm in auto marketing and they wanted to check me out. So now now I can reach out to them. I know they've looked at me, so there's another kind of closer step to hopefully doing business with that person.
Right. That's awesome.
And it's like back to the content thing too. It's like you never know what's going to work really well. Like one of my best Facebook posts was, I went to Torino Clothing and tried on 3 different outfits, and it's like, which one do you like the best? And it was crazy. It was like 200 comments, and like I had no idea that was going to have that type of impact. It was insane. I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and I think that really drives that home about just doing the stuff that you enjoy doing and put it out there.
Yeah. And it was cool. I got to wear it, it was pretty awesome clothes in my opinion. And I was showing off a local business retail store that needed help at the time because, retail just wasn't doing as well. So it was kind of a win-win. And then, they got it, and it was awesome because, it makes you feel good when a bunch of people are commenting on your stuff, but it's also nice to be able to go, hey, your store got a huge amount of free marketing out of it because it did well. So it's like it worked on so many levels. So it was pretty awesome to see.
Nice. So you're obviously you're a friend. I view you as a friend now. You're always out there. From what I understand, there's a couple other guys that are pretty integral to what you do.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, I got pretty lucky with my business partners, Barry Kretchen, Nico Freer. They started the company, and I came on, about a year after, I think, something like that. And I needed something. I was kind of, in the corporate world and just wanted to do something on my own. And those guys were they're smart. They, workhorses. They knew how to do the marketing and the website side of the business, and just didn't have that person to go out and help sell. So it was kind of like the perfect piece, that the three of us are, work so well together and have just the perfect set of skills that each of us do well in our own areas. So yeah, it's been pretty awesome having them as my business partners, for sure.
Awesome. And you guys, you said you guys 7 years then?
Yeah, it's like 8 years, something like that. Yeah, around there. I originally, I owned a company with some other friends called High Roller Games in the past. And so we created the Trailer Park Boys board game and a few other games, Vikings, based on the TV show. And I was, I came in as the marketing guy, and I found out very quickly that I didn't know how to market. So a little embarrassing. I actually told the story today again. It was like, I'm like, oh, this should be easy. It's a big brand. Like game's going to be easy to sell. And then, within 2 weeks, I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. And like, I was going like, I was trying to do everything. So I was going onto like message boards and I'm like, hey, check out the Trailer Park Boys board game. People are like basically telling me to fuck off. They're stop selling your shit here. It's not what this is for. So I was like, wow, I didn't think that I was gonna be getting so much slack. Like I had a completely wrong idea of how to actually sell. So I hired Buzz at the time to help out with our marketing with High Roller Games. So that's kind of how it started.
All right. Well, what would you take back as like some of the most critical things that you've learned from that time where you are now?
Well, I think the biggest thing was coming from the corporate world, where you just get off at 5 and go home, and Barry, my business partner, had to beat it into me that you can't own a business and work 9 to 5. So it took me a good year, probably year and a half, to understand that when you own a business, you don't leave work at 5. It's a 24-hour, 7-day a week thing. So once I learned that, from that, then everything just became way better. And I probably am happier now working longer hours than I was before because I just didn't understand it.
Right.
So,
I'm assuming there's a different level of enjoyment with it as well.
Well, yeah, it's things have been pretty awesome, and I think we've been fairly successful in the industry, and it feels pretty good to be where we're at. Where it takes a long time to create a reputation, and now now that we have the visibility and the reputation, we've got. Leads are coming in from online, offline, calling in, referrals. So it's like you see it finally like click where it's just like we're here, and I don't have to hustle as much as I used to before. So it's kind of nice.
You don't have to be at every event, just every other event.
Yeah. but luckily, yeah, if COVID had hit us, back when I was networking and we needed to network, I think it would have put us in a bit of trouble, because that's all I knew, and we didn't quite have the reputation yet. So a lot harder for those incoming leads to come.
Right.
And you're trying to get through it when you're a young marketing company, not spending any marketing dollars. So you're not practicing what you preach because you couldn't afford it. So I'm selling something that I'm not doing myself.
Right. And that makes it a little bit tough at times too, right? There's a bit of an imposter syndrome that sneaks in there. It can get pretty loud when you're not drinking your own Kool-Aid. But on the flip side, where you still succeed is in that networking and building relationships, right? And how that, what I take away from that statement is by learning the power of building relationships is it's now transcended some of the most hardest hit times economically that we've seen in 100 years.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty exciting to be in this space, and it's nice to be able to know that what I'm doing online is working, and that I can pass that on to my clients and help them, recreate at least some of the magic that I've been doing online because I know it works firsthand.
Have you had any client success stories you can share, or that it's taken what you're doing and applying it well?
Well, I think it wasn't all just me, but the Cod Auto Group, the dealership group. There's 6 dealerships: Kelowna Hyundai, Kelowna Kia, Victoria Hyundai, Maple Ridge Hyundai. When we first started with them, a few years back, to now, their social media presence is just crazy insane, and a lot of that was John Cott making a conscious decision to say we are going to be the number one social media dealership group that we know of, and going through that process, I even learned a lot from them about how visible and how much content they've been creating So it's kind of like a win-win for both of us, because we kind of grew together through that process of increasing your social media game.
Yeah.
And it definitely learned a lot from them through that process.
What would you say has been like the most interesting revelation you've had as you've evolved? Obviously, it's not the same beast it was 8 years ago.
It would say that again?
I said, what's been your biggest like revelation or like, thing that you look back going on, man, I'm really glad we took that turn, or thing that you've learned as you've grown from being the three of you to where you are now today?
Oh, that's a tough question. I think that's a tough one, man. I don't know. I think a few things just changed the business, like the subscription model, where you can be confident, pretty confident each month your revenue is going to be consistent. That changed our business. Traditionally, a lot of website marketing companies will build a $10,000 website, and then you got to go sell another $10,000 website, and then another one, and it becomes a very hard cycle to continue to sell big ticket items like that. So when we switched to more of a monthly basis, customers could afford it easier, and because $10,000 is a lot of money to a small business. So being able to do 500 a month or something, it's doable, and they get what they need, and our revenue stays pretty consistent through that. So that was a big thing that changed our business. That I think that was probably one of the biggest things that changed for us. And I try to get a lot of my clients, depending on the business, is try to get into some sort of a subscription model in one way or another, because if you can level your revenue out, that's such a huge relief, and to know that you're able to like pay your bills on a monthly basis because your revenue is consistent. It's a big thing for any business, and it also helps you hire staff, because you can hire staff at the right time, because hey, this is how much money we're going to be making a month, and
right.
This is what we can afford to bring on somebody new, whether it be a website guy or marketing guy or photographer or whatever it is.
It just provides you that level of predictability.
Yeah, and it's awesome. I'm glad we did. We hired a consultant, kind of business partner way back in the day, and that was out of all the stuff, it was expensive, but that was the biggest thing that we got out of it was that one piece, and it completely changed our business.
Right. So how do your clients work with you then within that subscription model? It's interesting to see a service provider leverage that.
Well, I think it makes both sides more accountable, throughout the process, because you're paying a bill. So we offer service, and they know that you're going to be there, not just disappear. So I think it creates a more of a higher accountability on both sides, which is important. And it, the other thing that kind of changed our business was just prioritizing and treating our current clients with like the best customer service that we can possibly provide them. I know everybody says customer service is their number one, but we thought it was our number one until we realized that it wasn't, and that we needed to change that in order to keep clients, and in order to have a better reputation. So it shot our Google reviews through the roof, because we were so reactive with our current clients. I think we have the most Google reviews out of any marketing company by like 40 or something. So that we're really proud of that piece, and it's something that we want to continue to grow and continue to offer that just next level customer service that gets us new clients and keeps our current ones.
Yeah, so it's making that shift, and there obviously was a learning involved. Now those reviews and the subscription is like an accountability model for you to be like, yes, our clients are number one.
Yeah, 100%. And they weren't before when we were first starting out, and you'd get a ticket in for, hey, we need this website change, and we found we were like, okay, we're taking like sometimes 5 days, a couple of weeks to even change something small. So we flipped it and just said, hey, if it's something quick and easy, just get it done instantly and tell them they've done it, and it's been incredible, the reaction we've gotten out of it.
Oh yeah, because now they're more happy because their businesses aren't being impacted, right? Like regardless of the size of it, if they're like, oh, I need to do this, it's really important to them. And by creating that extra space and getting it done, they're like, isn't it as important because it is?
Yeah, and what was I going to say? Oh shoot, I lost it. It'll come back to me. Yeah, I think the reaction time with our clients has really helped, and we've had, you in this industry, you're gonna lose some clients. It's just a part of the industry, and the biggest thing that we found is, we've gotten clients back because they've gone and they're like, holy, we didn't realize how great you guys were until we left, and then realized that what we were doing is not standard. It's exceptional, I think, in our opinion.
Yeah. Well,
or at least I think so.
And it sounds like your clients are agreeing with you, right? It's great to have that feedback from them, and being able to recover old clients. Like a lot of people think like that relationship's dead forever. Like, well, you're proof that it's not. It's not. It's usually just a conversation or two away from reigniting that old flame.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we just got like a really big client back because they'd gone in a different direction, and for like almost a year and a half, but because just of the visibility that we've been doing and what we did with them in the past, they came back and said, we want to work with you again because we've seen what's out there. So that was pretty satisfying after like such a long time, and I won't mention who it is, but it was one of our bigger clients. So it was really, really, really nice to get them back and to know that they appreciated what you did in the past.
That's awesome, Mark. Well, as I said earlier, we were going to get to like 40 minutes. We're going to fly by with no time at all. We're like at 39 minutes here.
Oh, geez. That's crazy.
I always like to wrap up each episode by asking guests, what is the one piece of advice you would love to give yourself 10 years ago?
I would go back and say, get on social media and get content out there. If I would have done that 10 years ago, the difference that it would have made today would be astronomical. And I think I can still give that advice to people today with their different businesses is get content out. It works, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time. People think it does. I shoot a video in 30 seconds, 45 seconds. A lot of them I don't edit. I just put them up. Yeah. And so like the whole process, shoot on my phone, 5 minutes and I've got content out. It's people think it takes a lot more time than it does.
It just takes your intention to put it out there.
Yeah. Not to say that, I'm still lucky because I've got, video editors. So I do have some quality, like edited videos that I can put out there. But, some of my best ones are just one take wonders that are with a specific client, and there's no intro, outro. It's just throwing it out there. So again, you just never know what's going to click with the people.
I like that. One take wonders. I'm going to say that. I will totally put that again.
Yeah, there's some beauties out there that I should have watched before, but I just posted it.
Well, it gets the word out, right? And it's somebody will get something from it. So, and like you say, there's always a time and place for that highly polished piece. And not every piece is going to be a one-take wonder. Sometimes it's going to demand more thought and attention. Don't let perfection get in your way is what I'm hearing from you.
100%. Yeah. Perfection will kill you. It'll destroy your content.
Perfect. Well, Mark, I want to be respectful of your time, man. I really appreciate you coming on for episode 26. This has been a lot of fun, and I think there's been a lot of gems being released. So that's the goal of the LiveCast Conversation With, is to hopefully leave some gems for other people on their journey.
No, I appreciate it. That was awesome. Always love chatting with you, and especially because you do have the marketing agency in your background. So I know you've got a lot of insight in the industry for sure.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, man. All right,
awesome.
So this has been Mark Tompkins from This Is Buzz. And as always, the host of this podcast conversation. We're going to be back next week on Wednesday, and I love seeing everybody then. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Gene.
All right.